Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Alpha, and today I'm going to be talking about hobbies that turned into side hustles and the lessons I learned from those things and the mistakes I made. So we're going to get into it. My first hobby was piano. I played piano from when I was 5 all the way till now, but barely anymore. But I did do my grades. I was able to get a teaching job. Now, yeah, a teaching job is not a side hustle per se because it's your job, but I realized quickly that there was a lot of people who wanted to learn piano. And so word had spread really quickly through my church, through even just like family and friends. Alpha is now teaching piano because she's been playing it since she was 5. So now she's going to be teaching. And so my mom was very good at bragging. She was great. If anything, you know, if you need a marketer, you need a mother who is proud. And she was very good at promoting. And so she promoted to all her family and friends and a lot of the people at church or in our community. And honestly, there was not a year where I didn't have at least 10 extra students outside of my music school that I was teaching at. But one thing that really taught me the lesson, especially in that, is the importance of referrals, and the importance of people and being able to have a business, because I just had no effort. I did nothing basically, but word spread really quickly and I was approached by a lot of people. So I basically did not have to do any marketing at all, but people were able to talk amongst themselves and ask, okay, who do you know that teaches piano? And a lot of them, because I was the only person they knew, would refer back to me, and I was somebody that they trusted. And so I would always have students. Fees were not very cheap either. They were like, for that time, especially if you're a college student, it was $20 to $30 an hour depending on who it was. A lot of them would give me extra because they were just so grateful that there was somebody who was willing to take the time out. So never underestimate the importance of the people that you know and the people that surround you, because that will be able to help you build on your business. This was a thing that I did because I was working my 9 to 5 and I was trying to explore my creativity. I would say I accidentally got into making money on this one as well, and it was baking. So I started baking cakes, and I baked because I genuinely love baking. I baked for my family and friends. I just baked for everybody. It got to a point where I was like, you know what, maybe I want to level up. And I was working 9 to 5. I was working a lot of extra hours. I knew that I was dying inside creatively. I knew there was something I wanted to do that was outside of my work. So I got into baking, and one thing led to another where I was just, you know, popping up with my cakes, showing people what I make. Even to this day, I still get hit up and asked if I still bake cakes. I would pop up to an event and I would show my baking. I would make it very aesthetically pleasing. I would make it as pretty as possible. I would match it to the theme, and then suddenly I was getting orders. What did I learn from that? Presentation really does matter, and showing up in places and being unexpected with your product, especially at the right time, is great for your business. And a lot of the times, like, think about product placements in K-dramas. It's like product placement in real life, right? Got off track here, but basically I'm going back to my cake. And so when I made it for these events, when I dressed up and I did all these cute things, a lot of people, you know, it grabbed their attention and they wanted them. They were like, oh, you bake cakes? Oh, this also tastes yum. I got a lot of orders. I started making cakes, but I also realized it was super labor intensive. So I actually had a few lessons from this, and I did also realize this from my piano one as well. But because I was working, you know, my normal 9 to 5, and then I would come home and bake cakes and I would be finishing at 2 a.m., the time I needed to make these cakes were not enough. And sometimes I felt like my labor that I put in was not worth the cakes that I was making. You get what I'm saying? No, probably not, because I'm not. So I did my photography while I was doing my baking. And my baking itself, I started taking really cute pictures of my baking on my phone. And so I was like, oh, maybe I should have a camera for this. And also there was a bunch of other stuff where I wanted to just like take a photo shoots. I wanted to change the conversation, especially around Pacific Island women and Pacific Island beauty. And so I thought, I'm going to buy a camera and I'm going to do photography as well as baking. But the truth was I could only really do one. I bought my camera not knowing a single thing. In a lot of ways I've accomplished my goal. Not because I did it. I'm sure other Pacific Island women did it too. Actually, I want to do it for my own pleasure and for my own comfort this time. But something that I really learned from doing photography was that social media is such a big thing. I grew from like nothing basically to 22,000 followers that I have right now on Instagram, and TikTok I have about 11k followers. You cannot underestimate the power of social media. The thing is that like because of social media, I was booked and busy, and it got to a point where I was burnt out, and I was also doing my job as well full time, and I just did not have time to really like do anything. And I felt photography had given me my creative growth, and it was really in the place that I loved being in, and I do know that I was able to accomplish a lot of the stuff that I really wanted to do. When your social media growth gets too big for you. The only reason why I would credit my photography even doing well, I don't even think I'm the best photographer at all. I don't even think I'm that great. The fact that this was a need in the industry and that people really wanted to see what I was producing really helped me grow on social media. And then when it helped me grow on social media, then I would be booked and busy for my photography. Everything would just coincide. If I posted, I would get bookings. If I got bookings, then people would post me, and then they would post me, and then I would post them back, and it would just be this like cycle of posting. And so I cannot emphasize how important social media is for your marketing. Unless you are rich and you have money and budget for marketing, then go for it, girl. Do your own marketing outside of social media. But if you do not, then I emphasize the importance of having social media as your marketing tool. Now let's move on to our art. Right now our only place that we're posting our art is Etsy, because that's, you know, the place that we started on, and we are going to be moving to other places soon. Just wait. One of the things that I really learned from Etsy was, I wouldn't say all my previous lessons were negative per se, but they were definitely learning tools. But this lesson the most was that I love how everything is, I wouldn't say it's passive like real passive income, but I love that like for every single part of my income before this, I would physically have to do something for people to pay for my services. Whereas this time around, I post something up a month or two later, people might buy it, and I'll be seeing the income for that later. And of course, these are like disadvantages to this. I really love that my passive income is not just one time where I have to work really hard just to get this lump sum and that's it. That I've been missing out on that part of being able to make money, because I feel like we see money as such a labor intensive thing that we don't see it as something that could be a passive way to earn and to be able to create an income. It was really interesting when we started posting up our art, because we could have done customized art when we did once, but we realized quickly that the time that we spent on it wasn't quite worth the amount that people were willing to pay for. And so then we decided, okay, what if we just put it up at Etsy, and if people want it they can grab it, if they don't then that's cool. And once we realized that that was what we were going to do, then I knew that it was just going to have like such an easier business model for us, because I didn't want to have to stress and do all those things about deadlines. And there are some customizable stuff in our store. It's not as intense as a full-on custom artwork piece that people would probably want. When I looked back at that, then I realized there were so many parts of where I could have done it, for like piano, for baking, and for photography. And honestly, like I really do love and enjoy each of the hobbies that I do, and I love that now I get to just have them as hobbies, especially the ones that I'm not doing actively as income anymore. Life is fun and interesting. And so if you really think as a creator that you can't make money, think again, because like these are just things that I just did as side quests. Imagine what you can do with like real quests, you know. But I hope you enjoyed my video. Please make sure you check out my other YouTube channel, My Beautiful Polynesian Life, and also subscribe to this channel, because I will be giving out more nuggets of knowledge. Nuggets? Yum. Please also go to my TikTok and my Instagram, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, subscribe, and write down below if there's any challenges or anything you want to know from me, so I can impart all my wisdom to you.